All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weekly review, week 13 out of 52 for the year 2026. This might be quick because I might fall asleep in the middle of it. So for last week, I gave myself a 3 out of 10 for my spiritual goals. Myself was an 8 out of 10. Health was a 2 out of 3. Wealth was a 6 out of 10. And then time off was 6 out of 10. So overall, last week was a good week. One thing that really was on my mind almost every day was really, I've seen it a lot on TikTok and it's kind of stood out to me. And I didn't really take it serious the first handful of times I saw it, but then lately I've been considering it more. And it is basically, why be afraid of the progression if God is on my side? And so this week I kind of stepped more into that risk on mentality with my trading, and that ended up paying off really well. Had one of my better weeks so far, definitely the best week of the year, but definitely one of my better days overall. The rest of the week, pretty good. I was busy. I worked all week. I think I even worked Saturday, and then I didn't really rest on the weekend. I was just busy all weekend. Late night car event, and then Sunday was a valve cover gasket that I swear I've fixed multiple times now. Ended up being the valve cover. I finally figured it out this weekend. Ended up being the valve cover. So now I got to go through and do that next week, which sucks, but now I got to fix that next week. And hopefully next weekend is a little bit more laid back because I'm dead. It is Tuesday and I'm tired. I thought maybe enjoying the weekend would help me rest, but I think that just made me more tired. The event I went to was a drift kind of event. It was like a car meet kind of drift event. Kind of cool. But I was up late and I was vlogging, and so really it was kind of like work, but I didn't enjoy the night, but thought maybe that would count as time off, but apparently it did not. So spiritually, I give myself a 2 out of 3, but I just feel like the goal that I had was not aligned with what was going on for the most part. Um, I said I was going to pray over this next week for this shift that I'm feeling in my life, because the just stepping back into the car scene, it feels like a hard shift, almost necessary, because now I'm more driven after this weekend. I am more driven to push in that direction, and it almost feels right. Not seamless, but it does feel right, and it does feel easy. I think seamless would be like, right now I probably wouldn't be tired, because doing that would have gave me some kind of maybe relief, or it wouldn't have been as heavy on me as it is right now, I think. So maybe not seamless, but it does feel like I'm going in the right direction. And so I remember one of the days I went to the gym, I had more deeper prayer. Not exactly about this, but I think I did pray about more my trading and the car stuff. It was more one day, one morning, more than the whole week. I feel like maybe Monday I prayed about it, but still, I mean, it feels unclear. But again, it just feels right, the way that things are moving, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this, with stepping into this shift in my life. It almost feels like I stepped away and I was doing other things that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and now I'm realigning. I've always wanted to do something with cars, and so now my relationship with God is stronger, and now I'm getting back into cars, and again, just the overall, the feeling of it, I don't know, almost like I stepped away from the wrong thing. My goal didn't align with how my week went, but I think for the most part, I just maybe misaligned my goals for the week, spiritually at least. On my self goals, I wrote trading was peak this week, but it's honestly that I feel like this week I gained a lot of confidence in my trading. I gained a lot of confidence in what I'm doing, and I think it's one of those things where through obedience, and then through the act of a lot of practice and a lot of work and a lot of patience, it is something that God is refining in me, but also I feel like I am, because I am working as hard as I am, and because I am as obedient as I am, He is starting to allow me to see fruit through this. Last week, I was thinking about this more. At the beginning of the year, I remember God told me to give up trading for 2 weeks. The church was doing a 2-week fast, and then I ended up doing a food fast the last 3 days, and then God asked me, because I prayed about it, and God asked me to put away trading for the first 2 weeks of the year. And so during those 2 weeks, one of the weeks I went to work, and then it just felt like a reminder. You got something going on. Why are you putting yourself in this position where I gave you something to do, which was trading, and I'm putting that almost on the back burner just to have a job? Not in that moment, because that's what that was for, but almost like I'm not trusting that trading is that, and I'm trusting this job more than the long term that God had for me. And I think in that 2 weeks off that he had me take, it was for that, to take a step back and like live a life, almost go back to a life where trading isn't part of my life. This week kind of showed me that a healthy relationship with the market is what I should have. And having that healthy relationship means I don't put it above anything else. And like I mentioned a bit ago, it was, if God is for me, then why should I be afraid of this? And so the skill, I feel like it is working really well for me, because more this last week, I almost gave into that, where it was, I was called for this. He's guiding me through this. He's been working with me through this. I've had no one else to help me through this. And so truly just accept where I'm at and trust his plan instead of forcing things. I stopped forcing trades in the market. I stopped forcing myself to be there, and it's just, if I'm available, I'm available. But the time I am available is working out for me, and I don't need to force any more time. So that's what this week felt like, and it just felt really laid back. And then other than that, content and everything else, I kind of realized too, is just like, yeah, I have a lot going on. Today I am tired. Today I feel like over the weekend was a little bit much. But for the most part, content and trading and a full-time job is honestly not as bad to handle as I thought it would be. And I just want to say that I think it is more because it is through an act of obedience, and he is walking me through this more than the work that I'm putting in. Because I could put in the work, not see results. That was the past couple of years. But last week was actually a really damn good week. So for my health goals, I gave myself a 2 out of 3. I only made it to the gym 2 out of 3 days. That's really the only health goal that I have that I keep giving myself, is just go to the gym. I'm shooting for 3 days, but the very bare minimum has to be 2. I think most of the week, I skipped most of the week, and then I went later in the week and then made up my 2 days later in the week. It's just, again, I'm starting to realize I'm starting to get like tired. It's starting to add up like quite a bit. So I need to figure out ways to step back. Like I said, this weekend was just busy, and so I think that didn't help anything. But yeah, 2 out of 3. With my wealth goals, I felt okay. The main goal is to try to keep low spending and try to save as much as possible. Again, just kind of build that buffer for the winter, for next winter, so I can take that time off that I had earlier this year. But also not choke the budget. So still giving myself enough to do, but not nothing. Giving myself something. And so finding that something that I can give myself was, I decided once a week I can go get a burrito and a protein shake. And so that'll either be Friday or Saturday. And through trading and my job, I can't say I can't not afford it. It's $10 a week. So $40 a month is not going to kill me. But also not allowing other things in the week to be spent or other expenses to be added into that. I start doing that, then things will start falling behind. I start making more, or maybe I start making more with trading, and then I keep adding expenses on top of that. Won't help to reach that goal that I have for the year. So it was a 6 out of 10. Wasn't too bad last week. For the most part, pretty good. There's a little bit of income from trading, worked 6 days, and then the weekend, just, it was what it needed to be. So for the most part, I'm okay with it. Time off, like I said, I did not give myself much time off. I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I had time after work to play Xbox, which probably really helped me with recovery. I was tired. I was tired Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish, but towards the end of the week was a little bit better. Saturday, Sunday was really busy, and I think if it wasn't for the time off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday after work, I probably would be hating myself right now. But at least I had that. And again, I was able to tell myself I needed that time to take away from everything else and just like relax. I guess I could have given myself a better score for this week because I have kept up with reading 2 chapters a night. I think the overall reason for the score was because I think I set the wrong goal for the week. Not that I did poorly, but I think it was just I just looked at it wrong. I want to keep that trust God's process mentality and not fear failure. Because again, if this is something that I'm called to do, then I am going to go through whatever journey it takes to become that. And so I want to keep that mentality going forward. I want to just carry that and remember that more. Make that more part of me instead of just a goal to be hitting for a couple weeks. I want that to be more part of me. Self goals, keep doing what I'm doing with my trading, follow my rules, my setups, and know when I'm too busy and can't focus, because that was an issue just yesterday. I was too busy, couldn't focus, and I had to remind myself that I could have a really bad day by forcing things, and that was exactly yesterday. I was trying to force things. Didn't have a terrible day, but it wasn't a good day. Got a lot of content to edit this week, and I do want to get more creative with my daily trade reviews. I kind of got bored, and I'm kind of seeing that like it's not really getting me anywhere, so I got to figure out how to be more creative with that. Health goals, same thing. Try to make it to the gym, dedicated days, more protein. I feel like I've been slacking on protein, and honestly, I think my body feels it. I think that's one of the reasons I'm so tired. Wealth goals is don't let my expenses or don't let my spending get ahead of my income. Just because I see right now good consistency in my trading, I still haven't pulled money from the market. So that's one thing that I got to remind myself is not to let that, and then goes with the second goal, is not to let that lifestyle creep start going up. And remember what the long-term goal is. Time off is really, I need to make time for that because I'm exhausted. Today I feel it. I am exhausted. And I'm just tired. Like I don't know what it is, but I got to figure that out as well. Might just be not enough time off. 3 non-negotiables for this week: follow my training rules, catch up on rest, and then more spiritual learning and obedience. Thanks for watching this week's weekly review. If you guys are new, you can hit the link in the description. It'll bring you to this Google Drive. You guys can create your own weekly, yearly reviews along with an annual review to help you prepare at the end of every year for the year to come. Your pages will look something like this, just completely empty. All you do is hit file, create a copy, and then name it annual review for whatever year. Same thing with the other files, is you just make a copy and then you label it whatever you want. Nobody can see this, only you. Don't worry, the drive is just there to share the documents. Unless you want to share them, then let me know in the comment section. But with that being said, I'll see you guys next week.